that he created almost all of them by himself. One of the things that makes me think that is Stan Lee. It's in one of those Origins of Marvel Comics books where he reminisces about how him and Jolly Jack created Captain America. You know, what a great time that was when me and Jolly Jack created Captain America. Stan Lee was about 12 when Jack Kirby and Joe Simon created Captain America. Now, that might be a slip of the memory, but no, I mean, I don't ever, I mean, my memory, as you saw earlier, where I had to ask somebody to pick up the thread, it's quite bad. Sometimes. But I've never sort of said, oh yeah, well I remember when me and Dave Cockrum created the X-Men. And having seen Jack Kirby's pencils, you know, you've got the whole thing broken down. And Jack Kirby would have done all that. And then you've got Jack Kirby's dialogue suggestions for every panel penciled in the margins. And you start to realise that what Stan Lee has done is taken, Jack Kirby's dialogue, some of it was a bit clunky. What Stan Lee has largely done was to fancy up Jack Kirby's dialogue, put in a few these and thous and forsooth, true believer, you know. But essentially it was Jack Kirby who wrote and drew those comics. Essentially it was him who created all of those characters. And that is wrong. And I remember when I did that Steve Ditko program with Jonathan Ross, where Stan Lee will not say, yes, Steve Ditko created Spider-Man. He will say, in my opinion, Steve Ditko created Spider-Man. But he won't say, yeah, actually, Steve Ditko did create Spider-Man. He won't say that, probably on advice from lawyers. And Jonathan Ross had got him over to come over to do the recording, and Stan Lee was going to be bringing his lawyer with him. But his lawyer got stuck in traffic. And Jonathan Ross said, oh, we're in a bit of a hurry. Or perhaps he said, hurry, I don't know. So eventually Stan Lee said, oh well, we can do the interview. I trust you. And yeah, so Jonathan Ross got him, it was like the Jeremy Paxman moment when he was interviewing Michael Howard on Newsnight. He was saying, so, Stan Lee, is Steve Ditko the creator of Spider-Man? And Stan Lee was squirming and saying, well, in my opinion, Steve Ditko was the creator of Spider-Man. He said, yeah, that's not what I asked. Your opinion doesn't actually matter for anything. It's not official, is it? Was Steve Ditko the creator of Spider-Man? And he, about 3 times, he said, well, in my opinion, Steve Ditko is the creator of Spider-Man. You know, Steve Ditko was, during Spider-Man's, I think, 30th anniversary year, Steve Ditko was living in reduced circumstances. All these people, they had their work stolen from them. I don't want to end this on a particularly bitter note, but sort of, you did ask, so no, not a huge fan of Stan Lee. Huge fan of a lot of the people that he worked with. So that kind of precludes any feelings of fondness for Stan Lee. I suppose we ought to end there. Has anyone got a little short happy question?